Well, I never thought it would happen. I don't know how anyone else felt. I just didn't think it was going to happen.
There was definitely a time where I thought, no, this isn't gonna.
No way they're going to get everybody back in this place.
But the rumours started before we'd even stopped filming season 6.
Julian had mentioned it before we finished, hadn't he? So we knew it was a possibility. But as you say, getting everyone together is hard work.
I think people, didn't get to a point where it was like people thought it was happening anyway? My dad was like, well, you're doing the movie, aren't you?
Yeah. Other people, yeah.
I was like, I don't know, Dad, I'm not sure yet. But it seemed that the rumours sort of became so big that people just assumed that we were doing it.
For the audience, it was happening before it was happening for the actors, maybe. But I remember the first scene that I had with Laura. I was suddenly speaking with a British accent. Do you remember? I was like, I forgot my character was American.
I actually found the redo really difficult because I've been playing American for like 2 years. So I was like, God, I've actually got to do the Mary voice.
Right. You were American, I was British. Yeah.
Also, you were shouting because you've been doing theatre.
Yeah. We have to mention the dancing.
The dancing scene.
Yeah.
I think the ball scene looks rather splendid.
Not to mention shins being kicked underneath the frame of the camera.
Yeah, mine are recovering now.
Like,
Thanks.
Yeah.
You all did very
I kept saying, yelling to Hugh under my breath as we danced, "Don't show them the pain," because of our feet crashing into each other. Turn.
Your favourite expression.
Cora's barking out instructions the entire time, which you won't be able to see in the movie.
Well, you can. If you watch carefully, you'll see that Cora is in fact leading the dance. Yeah. Entirely.
Are you excited?
I am a bit. Are you?
Would it be common to admit it?
Not to an American.
Are you anything like Cora?
Not at all.
Not at all.
British. You're British.
You're British. You're British, aren't you?
London.
I don't think any of us are really like our characters.
No.
I'm so much nicer than Mary.
You do always go upstairs to take off your hat.
I do always go upstairs to take off my hat, so I'm just like her in that sense every day.
I've got a slightly higher IQ than Robert,
Not saying much.
which isn't saying much.
Yeah.
Larry?
I don't know. I was going to say I hope not. That's unkind. I don't think we are like our characters, really.
We're certainly happier than Edith and Mary.
Yeah.
Just generally.
Yeah.
That might surprise people how much you two, and can I say for the fans, how much these two love each other.
Yeah.
Besties.
And always from the very beginning.
Yeah, we've been known to share hotel rooms.
Okay, let's draw a line.
Maybe not.
But that for production, mistakes.
Just to save on the budget.
Yeah.
I just love how you can watch this show with your grandmother and your kids and your mum. It's like something you can watch with all your family and everyone gets something out of it and loves it together, which is just feels very special.
It cuts across all ages and all classes.
Yeah.
Because there's someone represented from every category.
They see us as part of their family, and you've been in their living rooms or wherever for, season after season, and they feel a warmth and an affection towards this world. So I think that sense of wanting more of it and being, very invested in the characters is what sort of did take off, but none of us could have predicted that.
Do you know when I felt it? Honestly, the first read-through, when we were all sat around that table and there was something happen, I was like, oh my God. If anybody would listen.
Oh my God. Oh my God. Mary Lou.
There I was there reading the script. Oh my God.
I can't wait to tell him back in New Orleans.
Oh my God.
I knew it right then and there. Like I had come somewhere, and I was like in England.
Had you just done Streetcar Named Desire or something?
No, but I will be. As soon as they see this.
Oh dear.
Well, I came in, you guys were in full flow, shooting 4 or 5 episodes when I arrived, and I was just delighted to be working. And then
He had a job at all, much less.
I know, but I was only hired for 3 episodes, and I remember saying that to everyone, going, "Oh, so what are your plans?" And you were like, "Who knows? See you on the next one."
Yeah.
So I don't think anyone really expected it.
No.
Your Majesties, welcome to Downton Abbey.
We're glad to be here, Lady Grantham.
For me, one of the best fan moments was when Laura and I were in New York at the Met Ball, and at the after party, Mick Jagger came over to us and said, "Hello, I'm Mick," and told us that he was a huge Downton Abbey fan, and I was completely speechless.
Yeah.
I was very impressed, if also slightly worried, by the lady who's had Mrs. Hughes's keys tattooed onto her hip.
Oh my God.
Who came to New York
Yeah.
quite often, and indeed the lady who dresses as you.
Yes.
And Edith alike.
There's an Edith alike who makes her own costumes, which are very impressive. She came to an event wearing the wedding dress,
Oh yeah.
which was very exciting. Oh, she's lovely, and dresses up in Edith through the years.
Yeah.
So that's pretty special.
Have you had any specific sort of questions?
It used to be, will Edith ever be happy? And now it's, will she remain happy? I think people see it a bit risky to do the film in case she becomes miserable again. But no, that's lovely, isn't it? It's the amazing thing you feel they're going along with you on the story. So always interested in the costumes.
Yeah.
Do we get to keep anything? No, never.
I used to get, did you really drive those cars? A lot.
Yeah.
Yes, I did. What was that like? Difficult. Well, I think there was such a demand from people to see more of Downton that I hope that they feel that this is either a worthy bookend to the whole experience, or it'll be interesting to see if after this they still want more.
That's a very good answer.
Thank you very much.
I can see a Star Trek franchise. I think this is the beginning. This is just a gentle opener to what's going to be a huge franchise of 5 or 6 movies.
Oh my gosh.
Oh my God.
Thank heavens the film is taking place. We're thrilled about that because we're very, very tired of questions about is the film ever going to get made, which was for 3 years since the series finished was the main talking point of everybody. Are you going to make a movie? Are you going to make a movie?
Tell us about the movie, Jim.
Well, when did you discover?
How did you find out about it, Jim?
discover that Melda was going to be in it?
Ah, yes, Lady Bagshaw.
Well, I'm only doing the film because I wait until things go to the cinema.
I think you're just in as a budgetary requirement, love, just to cut down on transport costs.
It's lovely to be able to do it, and also really good to be upstairs. I know.
Oh no, you didn't.
Oh.
Mr. Mosley, it's very late for you to be out.
Is it true?
Is what true, Mr. Mosley?
Mr. Bakewell said that you'd warned him that there was to be a royal visit.
Well, now I know who not to trust with a secret.
That we should deserve such honour.
I think it was 2012 when we were in New York doing the publicity for the second series, which was about to open in January 2013, I think, if I've got my dates right. And walking through Manhattan, someone said, "I recognise those eyebrows." And I thought, oh, that's strange. And then on the same trip, we went as a group to the British ambassador's residence in Washington, where the great and the good of Washington behaved as if they were 16-year-olds and the Bay City Rollers had rocked up.
That got out of hand, that, didn't it?
But then we were whisked in shiny cars for a private tour of the White House at 10 o'clock at night.
The Situation Room as well, which no one's normally allowed.
That was incredible.
Michelle Obama loved the show, so we thought, oh, this is right, this is bigger than we thought, really. That was the first realisation.
It was sort of a snowball effect, wasn't it? But it sort of did happen quite quickly. And we'd hear snippets of information. I don't even know whether this is true, that Mick Jagger stopped rehearsals early to go and watch Downton and stuff. And I don't know whether that's true, but just to hear in the room was really nice. It's all those sort of snippets of hearing these iconic people that
Yeah, and there was a big thing on Radio 1 or 2, some morning DJ started a Downton Abbey man club.
Scott Mills, that was.
Was it Scott Mills?
It? Oh, I didn't know
And
that.
people would, men, like truckers would phone up, you know, pull obviously into a lay-by and...
Pull over safely.
Pull over safely.
Pull over safely, truckers. It's not worth the risk.
And talk about that week's episode. And they would have like a forum, like a fan forum about Downton Abbey.
People have had so much joy out of it, and when people come and tell you, or I had one woman when I was in America. Actually, I was filming something in Atlanta, and I was just in a stationery shop, and this woman just grabbed my arm and was shaking, and she just started crying and was like, "It's you, isn't it? It's you! I can't believe you're here!" Like. And she was like, "I'm crying because I'm so happy." But she said, "You just don't understand how much I love watching it." And just to have been a small part of anything that brings numerous people joy, it's a lovely thing.
Yeah. Well, my son wouldn't have watched it at all if it weren't for the fact that at that time when it started, he was still at school, and he said, "I'm going to have to watch this thing tonight because all the girls and the teachers, everybody's talking about it at school and I don't know what they're talking about." So we used to sit and watch it en famille.
Cousin Maud.
Violet, are we going to kiss? I'm glad you want to kiss me. It wasn't quite what you said when I last heard from you. Wasn't quite how I felt when I wrote. How I, Imelda, am like my character Maud. Well, exactly the same size. I am quite good at keeping secrets, and that's all I'll say.
Don't worry, Jim.
I'm very loyal, like Anna. Probably like to have a bit more fun than Anna does. Poor Anna, she doesn't get much chance. I'm a hard worker, not probably as hard-working as Anna.
You probably have to ask Imelda how much I'm like Mr. Carson. I don't know, curmudgeonly, but only on the outside. I don't know. I don't know how.
You
I'm
are
like
steadfast.
I'm steadfast, am I?
You are
You're
a
a lot
rock.
shorter.
I'm a lot shorter, and because the wig and the eyebrows take hours to put on. I'm steadfast. I believe, and
She said you're a rock as well. That's pretty good.
Rock,
that.
okay, I'm a rock.
And
I
you
do
are
believe
honourable?
She
really loves you.
Yeah. Honourable. Believe in politeness and good manners.
And you're like, Mr. Carson's like the dad of the house, and you're like that with all of us.
Yeah, I was going to just say.
He's like that, isn't he?
Yeah.
You can edit all my bits out of that and just have people talking about me, which would be lovely.
The Godfather.
The
You
Godfather.
do, though.
Yeah, you are
You do
definitely.
look after.
He looks
You look
after
after
it.
people in the same way that Mr. Carson looks after.
But
people,
not as
doesn't
scary as Mr.
he?
Carson.
No, not in a scary way like Mr. Carson. In a much more fun.
Mr. Carson's a big cuddly bear.
That's what we're trying to get round to, yeah. Big cuddly bear, yeah. Now, over to Rob.
I think
over to father of four, Rob James Collier.
Which is why he's doing the movie. I think Thomas, one thing I've got in common with him is he's not scared to say what he thinks. And that's a trait I share. If someone I think's being out of order, I'll call them out on it.
But I don't know, I'd like to be a bit more like Daisy. She's really ambitious and she really gets what she wants. I don't know. I don't know.
Are you a devil in the kitchen at home?
I'm not that good in the kitchen.
No.
So, yeah, me and Leslie both have this thing where we're both, she's actually more rubbish than me, but we're both quite rubbish in the kitchen to the point where they can't really give us much to do because we can even make whisking an egg look bad.
You've got kneading down to a T,
kneading.
though, yeah.
Leslie just has to do this with salt all the time.
Salt bay.
And she tastes things, yeah.
Oh, she does, doesn't
That's
she?
all she does, because sometimes
does
she'll
it
be
well,
like
though.
rolling something
She does
off.
it well.
If in doubt, she has a kitchen towel she uses,
Yeah,
doesn't
we
she?
fight over that towel.
I don't know. Well, she talks the same way as I do, Mrs. Hughes, I guess. A bit. Although I think she's from Argyll, I decided.
I don't think anyone's going to debate that with you, Gordon.
And like you, she's always, you're at home, you're always sorting out sheets and blankets. And,
Yeah.
I know.
Your
But-
house is busier than Downton Abbey in
You
terms
are
of
Mrs.
guest
Hughes.
stay.
Well, Mrs. Hughes has a lovely warmth, which you have as
Yeah.
well. Really, you know, I'm just saying.
The thing about me always having guests stay at the house, I've got nobody to delegate, whereas Mrs. Hughes delegates to all and sundry. All she does is, you know, pass out our orders and look, with a clipboard sometimes looks efficient, but she doesn't actually physically do anything. Whereas I'm slaving away like a mad thing
Changing
at
beds
home.
for all my guests.
Well, I can read, so that's a difference. Have to be very patient with Sophie and Daisy, so that's a similarity. I felt a lot of similarities to Andy when he first came in to the house, because he's quite nervous and daunted by characters like Mr. Carson and having to show respect to Barrow and stuff. In most of my
Mr.
scenes.
Barrow.
So, yeah, I felt like that was quite easy to connect to Andy because it was like literally the same feeling as coming into this huge thing.
I think our dynamic with each other is probably really similar to our status dynamic in the house. Like, I feel like the baby.
Well, we all, when
And
it
I am
started, we all deferred to Jim to start this conversation off.
Still, we all,
we all do that. Yeah.
Here's to the triumph of Downton and my beautiful wife.
Here's to all of you who brought it off.
Here's to Mr. Carson for swallowing his principles.
Oh, I shan't sleep a wink tonight.
Let's hear it for the King and Queen.
King and Queen.
I think we left the television series when there was still a desire for it to carry on, but it was the right time. You always leave people wanting more, which I think we did. So, you know, as witness the continual outcry from the media, from the fans for a film, I hope that they love it. You know, I hope it gives them what they want and their excitement is, you know, is fulfilled for them. I think we're in with a chance.